Welcome, good afternoon, evening, depending on wherever you're watching us. So, I say on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Obviously, another day. See, where do I start from? Essentially, whatever happened in the Everton game was something we all expected, right? Because I did expect. I think that in the lead up to this Everton game, when you speak about the games on Chelsea, about Newcastle, Brentford, Bournemouth, all of these matches, Nottingham Forest. One of the most difficult ones in is our Everton game. And we all spoke about the fact that it was going to be difficult. Difficult in the sense that, watch Everton. Chelsea struggled to get goals when they go away to Goodison Park. And I did mention yesterday in my pre-match analysis at Insha, said Chelsea have scored just 2 goals in about 4 attempts in 4 seasons away at the Goodison Park. So it was going to be the last game for Chelsea at the Goodison Park because now Everton are going to a new stadium, still in Everton. So it was going to be really emotional, difficult game to play, and a game that I really felt like Chelsea were going to struggle to go in and play. But going into the game, some other things that also affected Chelsea. Obviously, the absence of Benoit Badiashile was out of the team. Obviously, the absence of Marco Correa was out of the team. And I've said it several times. When you look at somebody like Marco Correa, on the foot of play, he doesn't give you 10 goals, 20 goals, 16 goals, all of these things. But what Marco Correa did our game in him, our team in him is the effort, the physicality, the combativeness, the aggression, and the fact that consistently he's almost incessant and debut or him to make sure so we need ball or be turning over. Like Sandy man getting standing out. In games like this, obviously Chelsea we're going to miss him, and it was clear in the match. Now, first of all, before we even talk about game Nankasa tactically, what went on in there, I want to ask you, who was your man of the match? One and your man of the match. For me, I think Zeni Abrante Frenny Tosin Adrebiayo. The calmness and the composure to really control the game when Chelsea were under pressure. And that last minute blocker, Tosin Adrebiayo Timinya for Chelsea, for me, was top notch and was excellent for a defender of his caliber. Mind you, Chelsea got Tosin Adrebiayo for free from Fulham, and coming into a team up, we all expected Wesley Fofana was going to play consistently because Wesley is the most aggressive of the centre backs. So, like I've always explained here, if you have 2 centre backs, you need a cat and dog profile. You need somebody that's cool, calm, more tactful like a cat, whilst the other person here, aggressive, combative, want to step into danger, want to try and be more proactive like a dog who constantly bark and be in people's faces. And that's obviously Abrante friend Wesley Fofana, whilst Levi is the other character. But in the absence of Wesley Fofana, Abrante friend Tosin Adrebiayo have had to step up as the calmer defender playing out from the back. But the job he did in blocking that ball from Iliman and Dyche in the dying numbers of the game, for me, was excellent. For Abrante, your friend Tosin Adrebiayo, and that's why for me, he's the man of the match. But what really happened going into the game? See, I had a lot of people tweeting at me at halftime. Now, they were complaining essentially about Sean Dyche saying, he's a disgrace of a coach because his team wasn't opening up. And it's normal for Sean Dyche and any team. Over against Sean Dyche and any team. One of the things that you're obviously going to see is the fact that constantly they will have a lot of men behind it. In fact, in the game against Arsenal, one of the things I put out on Twitter, in the lead up to the game, I spoke about how Everton are strong in the air. It Chelsea have to be very careful of set pieces. And that's something I think that Chelsea dealt with very well. I spoke about the fact that most of the balls that most of the game that Everton do, they put a lot of the players behind the ball. So they have 2 blocks of 4 and a 4-4-2 mid block. Now, so Chelsea starting lineup. The first thing I got from Enzo Maresca was that the best way for him to win this game was to tactically manipulate the block of Everton. I'll explain that to you because you see Everton funny a world drilled. Only are very stubborn behind the ball. They don't really jump like that. They are very, 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 very compact in the middle of the park. And that's why they play with Idrissa Gana Gueye, Mangala, and Abrante friend Abdoulaye Doucouré in the middle of the park. Then, of course, on each side of the game, there is Harrison, and of course, there's Iliman Dyche. Then, of course, Dominic Calvert-Lewin will lead the line for them. At the back, we know the usual suspects, Martin Brightwell, James Tarkowski. Of course, on the other side, Ashley Young and then Mikalenko. Now, Mikalenko's job was simple. Make it as difficult as possible for Abrante friend Pedro Neto. Send a Pedro Neto into me, and we need 1v1 duels now. or Trefaho, now failure or critique chance, no ball crosses, not get into the box. I really felt that this was actually a game that was made for Noni Madueke. In fact, in some of the tactical mistakes that I think that Enzo Maresca did or match, this was really a game that was made for Abranche friend and Noni Madueke. I don't think there was Pedro Neto was really a game. This was a game for Pedro Neto. Now, why am I saying this? You see, Pedro Neto was our pulse. Yes, he has the pace. When you are playing against a team that has a very high line, he attacks it easily and gets in behind. I think that in a low block, Noni Madueke's ball retention, any nimble-footedness, the close control in tight spaces, and then the fact that he is more direct. In fact, I think that Jadon Sancho not get as direct as the team had to be in this game against Everton. I don't think Senna Abrantia, your friend Pedro Neto was as direct as he had to be. And that's why I think that this was a game that was made for Noni Madueke to be able to be direct at Mykolenko for one. Because when you're playing against somebody like Mykolenko, you should be able to take the ball to him, get him to backtrack consistently and constantly. Then once you get him in there, then if you have good pressing and counter pressing schemes, you can sustain pressure. I think that Everton had an excellent plan, defensively putting men behind the ball. And then secondly, also slowing down the game. It's emphasis a corner kick back, goal kick back, all of these things. One of the things that they do so well is to slow down the game. They will take the sting out of your sail. They will prevent you from sustaining long spells of pressure against them. Then consistently, they will be able to have the momentum swing like a pendulum from your end to their end. It was a smart thing to do. Now, because you're good with air balls near your doors constantly, we knew Sabrantia, your friend of Jaden Pickford, was always going to go long, route one football for him to go up, and then get Dominic Calvert-Lewin, get Abrantia friend and Beto, get all of these guys to hold that play, and then try and bring themselves into the game. It was always going to be like that. Now, second balls is something that Chelsea did well. See, a lot of respect, massive respect to Abrantia friend and Moises Caicedo in this game. I think that he was a very, very good player. And in a game like this, one of the biggest issues that you have, and yes, I mean, we can criticize a lot of people, but to be very honest with you, this is a game and KBI Pochettino or any other coach from last season, Chelsea would have considered in the first half, because now Everton's plan was to go long and then pick the second balls. But the Moises Caicedo was always spot on. And like I said, this season, people say that it's Liverpool's Ryan Gravenberch. That's probably the best midfielder in the English Premier League. But for me, that's not true. That's not factual. Really, it is Moises Caicedo on the ball, off the ball, covering of ground, short distances, long distances. I mean, defending of duels, almost everything, reading of the game. Moises Caicedo, every metric that you want to use to judge a midfielder, Moises Caicedo is on a different level when we speak about midfielders in the English Premier League. And I think that he deserves a lot of credit for the job that he does over there in the middle of the park for Chelsea. And for me, one of the things that was very, very important was how much he was able to pick up the second goal. Like I said, the first mistake Enzo Maresca did, and Maresca made a huge mistake, tactical mistake. The first mistake that Enzo Maresca did was to have a branch friend Noni Madueke on the bench. This was a game for Noni Madueke. The first one obviously started from the game against Brentford, where Chelsea lost a branch friend Marco Correa. The red card to Marco Correa was something that affected the team, because you are going into a game like this, you need somebody like Marco Correa in the half spaces most especially. Now, if you look at the starting lineup at Chelsea, Axel Disasi at right back, Malo Gusto at left back. Constantly, I've said this, you don't get the best out of Malo Gusto in the left half space, but that's essentially what Chelsea had. And it looks as if Enzo Maresca did not trust Renato Vega enough. Now, I saw a lot of people saying something like Chelsea, Enzo Maresca, Ambo, Joshua Champo at right back. See, regardless of tactics and all of these things that we talk about in football, ability, technical ability, tactical ability, and all of those superiorities that we talk about, one other thing that's important is that you should understand, say, these managers are dealing with human beings like yourself and myself. There's a senior player there. You don't just throw in a young player you just promoted from the academy and overlooking the Disasi. It means that you're literally passing a vote of no confidence on him. You want to let Disasi know that he's good enough. And Disasi went into this game. He is physically good. He's bulky. He's good at defending area duels. He's a better box defender. And I think that I agreed with this. Of course, like every other Chelsea fan, who Disasi no yeah special. Say, hey, I didn't think Enzo Maresca about Axel Disasi. But then again, you understand that Axel Disasi is an important player in matches like this, especially where you have to do a lot of box defending. You need Axel Disasi to do the job that you want him to do. You need Axel Disasi to help you in defending area duels. It's very important. The bigger one was
Malo goes to Oko left back. Now, one of the things that Marco create in year when he plays at left back is, and when he gets into the left half space, is the combination play with Jadon Sancho and Enzo Fernandez. Now, the plan is simple. When you are playing in a team where you want to be attacking once, you want to be the best, Chelsea essentially have the tools to break them down. And that's why I think that tactically, the first mistake was that Noni Madueke one. Two, the Chelsea players did not do enough. And when I say they didn't do enough, I did mention to you about Pedro Neto's lack of directness. I mean, he wasn't as direct as I felt he had to be. On the other side, Jadon Sancho wasn't as direct as I felt that he had to be. Of course, and it was something that really did worry them, because you want to be direct. You want to take the ball to the opponent. And when you're playing against fullbacks, me to say Ashley Young and Mikalenko, the best you can do is to be as direct as you want to be. You don't sit off them. You don't want to try and play a lot of short passes intricate next to you, because they don't care. They won't jump. And that was the game plan from Enzo Maresca. All match, the first plan was to have Chelsea beat Everton for a no ball in the middle of the park. He didn't invert Malo Gusto next to a branch friend of Moises Caicedo. Now, so she gave it from the beginning. Now, what Enzo Maresca did was that in build-up, he pushed Malo Gusto into more like a hybrid wing-back fullback position. Into Malo Gusto, a biome kaka like a fullback, but on your fullback, and one back inside like a CM, more like an LCM, but on your LCM, and just so that he can pull the fullback on the other side. So because Malo Gusto was playing at left by the right back of Everton, which is a branch friend of Ashley Young, so he can pull Ashley Young in. Then that will in turn pull the right side center back, which is a branch friend James Tarkowski, to come onto a branch your friend of Pedro Neto. Now, if he's able to do that, then there are spaces in between the lines for a branch friend of Enzo Fernandez, and also for a branch your friend of Cole Palmer to be able to receive the ball in between the lines, because really that's the most important thing, to try and bait Everton out of our blocks now, and then get in behind them. Now, and into here in the first few minutes, Chelsea were able to get openings. There was a ball where there was a combination play between Abrantia, your friend of Enzo Fernandez over there, who did a very good job in terms of the combination play and how they wanted to play in that regard. It was very important. It was something that they really wanted to get into it. Something that they wanted to do, or something they wanted to hold up, or something that they really wanted to immerse themselves in, saying that they will get results. And for me, it was one of the best things that Chelsea could do to try and pull Everton for out. But like I said, Chelsea did not do enough. They really did not do enough. It was something they could have done better. They could have held on to the ball better. They could have dictated the pace of the game better. They could have done a lot more. In fact, at halftime, in terms of some of the notes I put together, I think that I didn't like what Malo Gusto did over there. In fact, by the 68th minute, I knew that that's a game where that could end up in a draw in terms of how both teams were playing. Enzo Fernandez over there was now getting onto the half space more, and then pulling back a branch friend Malo Gusto. And of course, the special awareness for Enzo Fernandez was important. Of course, at the back three, it was Cowell, tossing Adere Biayo, and then of course, Axel Desasi making the back three. Then Moise Caicedo as a DM single pivot. Malo Gusto, Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer, Neto, Jackson, and then of course our branch friend Jadon Sancho over there, which is a very important one. Obviously, I mean, hoping to get the best out of him. I mean, in that regard, something that he really wanted to do. In the second half, I felt that it was a game where, like I said, Noni Madueke should have come on earlier. Chelsea really should have gotten Noni Madueke on, especially from Enzo Maresca. He had to throw in Noni Madueke on earlier on. Everton, for me, we're doing the best job this season. Now people understand why even Arsenal dropped points against them. In the first half, they were doing excellent. They were doing the hardest part. It's not allowing Chelsea to play through the middle areas, forcing Chelsea to go constantly to go wide. And that's why I thought that there was a need for more directness outside from Chelsea. Having a mid block that didn't take the bait of jumping. And that's one way of breaking down mid blocks. Say, you have constantly a bait where the opponent is baiting you, but you don't want to jump. And you look at the game, and it's essentially Sean Dyche that happened. That's exactly how we've seen Sean Dyche teams over the years. It's also a game now. 0-0, 25% of ball possession, Everton. Chelsea, 75%. Total shot, Chelsea, 12, Everton, 5. Shot on target, Chelsea, 5. Pass percentage, Chelsea, 90%. XG created, 0.77. Limited Chelsea to an XG of 0.77. This is the first time since the first day of the season that Chelsea haven't scored a single goal. XG from open play 0.41, XG from set play 0.36, opposing passes in the half 2.58 from Chelsea over there. So essentially, if you look at even the tilt map, the field tilter, it tells clearly how Everton will hold on to the ball and slow down the game, and the data is there for everybody to see and talk about it. Nicholas Jackson essentially was a very, very good option to drop deeper and come and combine play and then put across Guinness team. But like I said, it's about the discipline of the Everton team. In fact, there were times where they were caught out, but because they are well drilled, they always come back and come and defend very well, which is a very, very good thing for Everton. Anyone with team now, and I think that they did it excellently well. We have also seen the runs in behind a bit in our ball, and I think that we didn't see it very well. Like I said, it's so easy for Everton to defend Jadon Sancho, and it's something I kept on talking about. Jadon Sancho is slow. He has the pulse in his game, and he doesn't fit a game like this. So after the big issue I had with Noni Madueke starting, and also the next one with a branch friend Jadon Sancho playing in that and playing for that long, I really didn't think that Enzo Maresca did enough to get the win for this one. It's one of the games where I think that Maresca didn't do enough. But for me, the man of the match was Tosin Adrebiayo. He was excellent. I mean, physically he was good against Dominic Calvert-Lewin. When he had to put his body on the line to defend the goal, he was able to defend that very well. Again, another game where you give a lot of respect to Robert Sanchez also for good showing our partners. So Chelsea didn't get a 3-point, but Sanchez made sure that Chelsea didn't lose as well. He's coming out faster off the line, claiming of crosses was also very important for our right friend Robert Sanchez. And like I said, games like today, when teams set up to ridiculously deep block is where Chelsea had different profiles. Like I said, sometimes the no-nonsense centre forwards in the box, like Samuel Maradona, John Duran, Victor Osimhen in the box, they are more aggressive. They get a job done with boxing. But again, you kind of give them. I mean, you will be patient with the sporting directors, and hopefully in January they can go on and then get players and get some of these profiles in the box and do their job for Chelsea Football Club. So surprised that Joao Felix didn't get on. Felt like that was his game in there. But of course, they didn't do enough over there. And a game where that has ended 0-0 over there for Chelsea on the other side. But if you look at the results around Chelsea, like Bournemouth or Manchester United, I think that's exactly why you see the importance of Chelsea and how Chelsea played. I felt that there was more Chelsea could have done. Like I did say, Chelsea didn't try to speed up play, like I said. I mean, build-up had to be slow, but when the ball got to the wing, it had to be faster. And that's something I don't think that Chelsea did enough over there for the games that they played. But then again, I mean, we give a lot of respect to what has been done, of course, in Liverpool today. Chelsea drawing 0-0 with Sean Dyche. Of course, this is the post-match analysis of that game. We'll be back.